Hello, hello, hello.
What do you know?
Well, just glad to be back.
We're glad to have you. Mr. Claywell, how are you this afternoon?
I'm awesome. Mr. Ham, how are you doing?
I'm doing very well. And the gentleman that led us into this episode this evening, special guest in our studio, Mr. Glennis Helton, Mr. Obi.
Mr. Obi.
Nice to have you back in studio again, sir.
Thank you. It's so nice to be around people that can actually say Glennis.
Yeah.
Oh.
But, I'm not going to do that because you've been Obi to me for so long that Glennis does not roll off the tongue like Obi does for me.
Yeah, I've actually would like to replace that. I want to keep Glennis, but I definitely just have 4 names and just put Obi right, and it actually
it needs to be in parentheses, kind of like anytime you see the old gangsters, like Angelo Snaps Provolone. From Oscar. Yeah. Anyone that has a middle name in parentheses has got to be pretty cool. And definitely Obi needs to be in parentheses in your name.
Yeah. It's like even my gamer tag is Obi the One.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It is.
Nice.
It was hard to get because I was just like Obi the One. That's what I wanted. So I had to replace the with duh.
Yeah, because I'm sure the was already taken.
Yeah. Which reminds me of an EverQuest character I made, but I can't say that name. They kept pausing my character or whatever, and I would come back and part of the name was just gone.
Oh yeah.
And it was I was just like, man, so then I'd have to come up with another way to spell it the same way.
Yeah.
And good old EverQuest.
Good stuff, good stuff. So Mr. Claywell, what have you been into?
Not a whole lot. Stuff has changed, but nothing really. So, my supervisor.
Right. I think last time we talked, he was getting ready to leave his position.
Yeah, he put in his notice and he left the company. I applied for the position. I did not get it.
Okay.
So, the new supervisor starts effective Monday.
Oh, okay. Do you know the person already?
No, not yet. No.
Okay,
I do not know them. I mean, they've been with the company for a long time, but I just don't know them personally.
Oh, okay.
I guess I was wrong though. I guess their official start date is the 1st.
So that is
Saturday or something.
That is not weird. This coming weekend, but the following weekend. Yes.
Yeah. So
you
I guess this upcoming weekend.
Still filling in, doing the supervisor job stuff like
for
we were
now,
talking?
Yeah. I still have to do all that Monday through Friday. So.
Yay. For another week, at least.
Yeah, for another week. And then I'm turning that all back over to him.
Absolutely.
This is your puppy.
So here you go.
Yeah.
This is your pay grade, not mine.
And then since last time we talked, I got invited to be a member of another stream team.
Oh, nice.
So I accepted that. And
now this is through Twitch?
Yeah, Twitch. Part of my Twitch stuff.
That is awesome.
And we are organizing right now we're going to attempt to raise some money this year for charity.
Yeah.
As a team.
Nice.
We've set ourselves a pretty lofty goal.
I don't know, I've always heard shoot for the moon and land around the stars or something. Shoot for the stars and land on something like that.
Yeah.
Shoot for the big thing, right?
But it's, I was on another stream team, Occam's Razor, and it's a good group of people. But we just had very different schedules, so it was hard to be a part of the team.
Yeah, I can see that.
And this team, we're on more of a similar schedule, and we interact a lot more.
Okay.
Because of that, a lot of the people on the Occam's Razor team are more night owls. And where I work a day job, that's just really hard to participate in.
Yeah.
And a lot of these people have daytime jobs.
So you guys can kind of do afternoons, evenings.
Yeah, it's called part-time slackers.
Oh, nice. I like it.
So we game when we have time, and that's kind of the...
That's cool. That's a good mantra.
Yeah. And so their biggest thing as a group is Destiny.
Yeah.
Playing Destiny 2. So helping people do stuff, Sherpa people through raids and dungeons and stuff like that. And
I know whenever I called you earlier, you said you were in a group thing. Was it in Destiny?
I wasn't in a group thing, but I was in a dungeon. Yeah, trying to learn it.
Oh, cool!
And trying to get through it on my own.
Very awesome. Very awesome. So. Yeah, I've been, of course, since before Christmas. I guess actually since September-ish of last year, I've been playing Breath of the Wild, and finally got through everything. Got all of the.
Now you're just grinding out them Koroks.
Now, dude, now at this point, yeah, pretty much. Then there's 900 of them.
I know.
Oh my gosh.
That's a lot.
So, I went ahead and finished up all of the shrines, got all of that, got all of the armors, got pretty much everything that you can get. And now it's just a matter of getting those little Koroks. So, yeah.
Nice.
But I don't think I'm going to make that a goal because that's insane.
Yeah, there's a lot of them for sure.
So today, guys, we are sitting down at a table that we have been at, I think, most of our lives. The nerd table.
Darn tootin'.
Man, we like this is something that we eat, sleep, and breathe, and have. I know I have since late middle school, so like 30 some odd years or right at it. What we're going to talk about in this episode, we're going to talk about some role playing games. I think we're going to talk about just some like fantasy like books and settings that we kind of like, and we're just gonna nerd it up for the next hour or so.
Nerd rage.
And when we say role playing, I mean tabletop. Tabletop
RPGs, role playing games like tabletop.
Not RPGs like WoW.
No. We're talking like dice roll, paper, pencil,
right.
Books and stuff like that.
Right.
So open campaign settings, not necessarily like you say, nothing online specifically like WoW or whatever else. So yeah. So where do we want to start with this? Because there's a lot that we could talk about for the next hour.
Well, I think I would like to start with just our favorite tabletop RPG,
like campaign setting. Or
yeah.
All right.
Just like, what's your favorite world to play in?
Okay. So now I've played in quite a few, a bunch. I know with you, Eberron, we did that. So Dungeons and Dragons Eberron.
Right.
I have ran in Greyhawk and Dragonlance, and I've played in Forgotten Realms, like the Underdark.
That's my baby.
There's a bunch of them that I have played in.
Right.
But honestly, my personal favorite, like just at my core, is Kryn, is Dragonlance, the Dragonlance setting. I love it. The way it works, some of it's clunky, some of it is not necessarily user-friendly, but I think that's part of what makes it a good campaign setting, especially like magic and things like that in it, because it's very, 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 like, I don't want to say clunky, but it is kind of like, it's an abstract way of approaching magic in that setting.
Right. And I think, so Dragonlance is definitely up there for me.
Right.
And I think one of the things I'll look for in a role-playing system, like a setting, is the magic system.
Yes.
Because that's where you can really define.
Yes.
I mean, hitting stuff with a club or a sword is hitting stuff with a club or a sword, no matter what setting you're in.
Exactly.
But they have, so each one of these has like their own way to define the magic. And I think Dragonlance is probably my second favorite system for that.
Right.
Because of the moon phases.
Exactly. And the way
the way the schools of magic work in Dragonlance.
Yeah, so you're drawing your magic from the three moons.
Right.
So Solinari, Nutari, and Lunatari.
Right.
So the you got the red moon, the white moon, the black moon, and that's where you get your good, your neutral, and dark magics.
Right.
And something too is the way that they approach how you gain those powers in this one, in this setting is in my opinion is phenomenal, simply because magic is not something that is common. You like in Kryn, like the entire setting, a magic user is fairly rare.
Right.
And to become a magic user, you had to go through before the Towers of High Sorcery, it was kind of chaos magic. And then once they created the Towers of High Sorcery, then you had to go through trials, which put your body and mind through these tests to see if you could even control the magic.
Right.
So and then the way that they approach spells, as far as having to learn them, the arcane spells, and the way that they like a wizard would know them. And I found this awesome little thing that I want to just, I think you'll appreciate this. So it talks about how a wizard gets his spells and memorizes his spells and the way that actually works in the mind. And I was like, this really is at the core of Dragonlance, how magic works. And it says the wizard, like once they cast a spell, right? So it says like here, the description largely applies to Dragonlance as well, though I recall that the ritual inscribes words of magic in the wizard's mind. And saying the final words causes the pent up energy of that spell to kind of flare out. So you're like the preparation of the spell in the mind, like bottles up this energy. And then the wizard hasn't afterwards, once the spell has been, used, those words almost disappear from the mind, or they have lost that power. And in this next line, I thought this was brilliant. The wizard hasn't really, quote unquote, forgotten the words so much as the words represent a mental construct that caged the energy of the spell. Once the spell is cast, the construct is gone. And I thought, man, that is a good way of looking at how a wizard, an arcane caster, casts spells in that setting. So I thought that was well put.
It just kind of made me think of like Green Lantern's ring.
Yeah.
You know how you used willpower to
exactly.
Yeah.
It's pent up energy.
I like that.
I thought that was really, really well put. But yes, so Dragonlance is my favorite campaign setting. Dragons are fairly rare. You don't see a lot of them.
Right.
At least not until after War of the Lance, and then you start getting a few of them. And then you have these characters that are just absolutely beautiful. From, creation all the way to death, these characters are very, very, very well rounded. So, yeah. And so what other campaign setting would you have Kinder in?
I was going to say, is there a setting specific race that draws to you? So I guess
the Kinder I think are just because they're so childlike and so fun.
Right.
I love them. Well, they can be annoying sometimes.
I was going to say,
but I do love that character because they are so innocent.
I got you.
But the Draconian, the kind of the bad guy of Dragonlance, especially the Chronicles, I think that is a good construct, a good campaign, or I should say, a good setting specific NPC. Because you don't really get those outside of Dragonlance.
So what was there's the 3 Draconians, right? There's the ones that turn to stone when they die.
Yep,
the ones that turn to acid,
and the ones that explode,
right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and then you get that from the different chromatic dragon eggs that were corrupted, which created these things.
And which also explains the decline of the dragon population.
Exactly. Yep.
Right. Okay.
Yep. All of that. And we actually, the group that I play with, we're starting a Dragonlance campaign. We're starting with we're doing the historical arc, so we're starting as Irda, the high ogres, the blue guys.
Oh yeah, okay.
So this is like, I want to say like 6,000 years pre-cataclysm, and our DM has basically said, hey, you're going to play these characters, and we only play them 5 or 6 times, and then jump to another setting, because as the timeline moves, these characters drop off.
So what it sounds like to me is that target, that goal.
Yeah.
The Foundation novels. I don't know if you've ever read those.
Nope, I've not read those.
It's a classic sci-fi series, and it does the same thing. Like it jumps. Like you'll spend like a few chapters with this group of characters, and then the timeline jumps like 800 years in the future.
Right.
And it's just all new people, and then you'll spend a few chapters with them, and then it jumps like another 1,000 years in the future. And then
so that way you're kind of getting the timeline as it goes, as this world develops. Yeah. And that's kind of what we're looking at, because there are so many books and so many different things that you can pull from Dragonlance, because I want to say we're getting close to 100 novels now. So,
I got 5 or 6 at home.
Yeah. I've got a bookshelf still, full at the upstairs there. But I think there's somewhere right around 100 novels. Now, of course, the Weiss and Hickman originals, there's only a dozen or so of those. But all of these other people that have started contributing, on that system. Right. There's a lot to pull from. So if we're going to be playing this, I'm sure it's going to be, if we can stick with it, years worth of play, and I think it'll be fun.
So now I heard a rumor, and it may be apocryphal, I don't know,
Okay.
But I've heard that the original Chronicles trilogy,
yes,
the Dragons of Autumn, Twilight, Spring, Dawning, Winter, Night, whatever,
yep,
those 3 books, I've heard that they were based off of a
campaign,
D&D campaign
yes,
that Weiss and Hickman played in.
Yes.
And so is that...
That's accurate.
That's true? Okay.
Yep, that is true. Yeah, all of those characters in those are characters that that was, sitting around a table at one point.
And that's another thing I really liked about that setting is the whole, not just the whole unique magic system of the red, white, and black moons, but also, they went a step further, and clerics as well.
Yeah.
In that setting are kind of different because all the gods were gone.
Yeah.
So there is no...
After the cataclysm for 300 years...
there were no clerics.
There were no clerics. The gods were silent.
Yeah.
And so they did not... Yeah, they could not cast divine spells whatsoever. And that's kind of what sets the Chronicles in motion is there's a staff that is found, and it's an artifact from one of the clerics, and that kind of reawakens the interest in the old gods, and they kind of come back and start talking again. Then, of course, the big constellations that are missing in the sky. So,
right,
yeah, it's pretty awesome setting. And then the 3 originals. What you were talking about, the Chronicles. Quite a few years afterward, they released what they called the Lost Chronicles, and between those books, you have your Dragons of Autumn Twilight, Dragons of Winter Night, Dragons of Spring Dawning. There are gaps, like large gaps between those books.
Right.
And the Lost Chronicles fill in those gaps like perfectly. Like literally the last line in Dragons of Autumn Twilight is like that conversation is the one that the Dragons of Dwarven Depths picks up on. Like they're still standing in the same spots and talking to one another. So it's continuum. And I thought, man, that was very, very, very well done.
Nice.
So, yeah, good stuff. Good stuff.
So you like the Dragonlance campaign setting as a player?
I do. I do indeed. And I'm very, very, very stoked about getting to play with my group over here in Dragonlance again, because we've been playing in Galarian with Pathfinder forever. So
now let me ask you.
Yeah.
Do you play any of those campaign specific races? Typically speaking, like do you play a Kinder or a Draconian or?
Well, I don't know what I'll play once we get to that point. Right now, we're all.
I just meant in the past. Like, have you?
In the past, I have not got to play a Kinder. I got to play in campaign with Kinder, Mr. Claywell.
No, I played one.
And your Kinder is phenomenal.
Thank you.
Actually, one of my favorite, and we'll talk about this a little later, but one of my favorite scenarios that happen in game was you. And we'll talk about that in a little later, and it was the Kinder. But no, I've played dwarves, I've played half elves, I've played half dragon, I've played all these different things. But as far as one that was specific to the Dragonlance setting,
I think another one that they introduced as a playable race in Dragonlance was Minotaur.
Yes, yeah, you can play Minotaur in that. And eventually I'm sure that I probably will. I don't want to say have to, but I'm sure that we'll be playing that, because I want to say specifically in like the Kaz the Minotaur, that series where he's in, right? We play all as Minotaurs.
Oh, nice.
So there's another one where we all play as dwarves, and right now we're all Irida. So
okay,
yeah,
I got you.
Pretty cool stuff.
Dwarves.
Yeah, me too. Dwarves are fun to play. My dwarves are some of the most clumsy characters you've ever seen. I cannot stay on, as stable as a dwarf is, I cannot stay on my feet as a dwarf.
Yeah. Quint Battlehammer is like my favorite dwarf of all time.
Yeah.
You gotta love the Gutbuster Brigade from Alra Salvatore and all that. Just absolutely love it. So if I get a chance, I'd love to play a dwarf.
I've played in Forgotten Realms.
Yeah. Now, my default character is a dwarven fighter.
Yeah.
Okay. Like if I don't know what else to do, I'll be a dwarven fighter.
My go-to is typically human rogue. That's normally my go-to character. I love a good rogue. I like the stabby and the hide in the dark and all that kind of stuff.
Right on. So since you were just mentioning it, I will go ahead and take the torch from there and say my favorite campaign setting, and I only got to play just a couple of sessions in it, and then it kind of disappeared for a long time, and I think they brought it back now with 5th edition, Dark Sun.
Yeah.
And again, it goes back to that thing where I was saying, like, I like the draw of the unique magic systems that they have the opportunity to develop for these settings. And the Dark Sun setting is unique in a couple of ways. Wizards, and I don't think they have sorcerers. They might. I don't know. I don't think they used to. They might now. I haven't seen any of the new stuff. And when I played, it was during THAC0 days. So
THAC0.
No.
Okay, wait.
So it's been
let's clarify for all of those people that are not people that sit around in tabletop game. THAC0 was to hit AC 0, and it drove players insane.
Yeah.
Second edition D&D was some rough stuff to play in. But anyway, okay, continue.
Yeah. So I mean, a brief summary right now. The better your armor is, the higher the number is. That's the way it works right now. And if I want to hit you, I have to roll higher than your armor to hit you. It didn't work that way at all back in the day.
No, you wanted to get as close to 0 as you could.
And you had to add and subtract, and then subtract and then add, and then you had to come out and you had to figure out if you hit them or not, and it wasn't clear, and there was always arguments about it. So it's much more simple now. But anyway, that's how long it's been since I played in Dark Sun, and we only played a few sessions.
Right.
But I loved the unique aspects of the cleric and wizard magic system that they have in that setting.
Right.
So if you're not familiar with Dark Sun, the whole planet, and I don't remember the name of the planet or any of that stuff, but it's like this desert wasteland. Like there's no vegetation, it's just like this desolated, barren hellscape.
Right.
And the reason it is so corrupted is because of the way the magic system works in this setting. In order for people to cast magic spells, they have to draw power from living beings.
So it's almost like a life essence?
It pretty much, yes. They're taking in the life essence of everything around them and channeling that to create something different.
You know, that kind of makes me think of the way that like the monk key pool kind of works in Dungeons and Dragons and Pathfinder and stuff like that now. So where they have this life energy that they have in them and they kind of channel it into a specific thing.
Kind of, yeah, but as a wizard in Dark Sun, you would not want to use your own life essence.
Okay.
Because you can kill yourself.
Oh, that would be bad.
Yeah, so you want to draw in the life essence, and what you'll find in the planet in the setting when you move around is you will get to these places that are just lush and verdant and green and well maintained, and a powerful magic user will live there.
Ah, by the way, the name of the place is Athos.
Athos. Okay.
Athas. Yes.
Okay. So you will find that powerful magic users live there because it's not. And when I say life energy, I don't just mean animals. They will primarily draw it from plants.
Oh, okay.
And so ages and ages ago, there was this huge war between magic users, and they sucked in all of the life essence of all of the vegetation on the planet and just desolated the land. Like there was no crops to grow, there was no vegetation, there was no greenery, the dirt turned to sand, everything dried up and blew away, and just it made it the barren hellscape that it is now. So now there are two basic classes of wizards, and the ones that I'm talking about that you'll see these huge verdant palaces those are preserver wizards, and they will work to maintain harmony with their power. They will draw small amounts of life essence from the things around them, but nothing
enough
severe.
to kill it.
So they're more druidic in nature.
Yeah, they try to be at one with the area around them.
Nice.
And then you have defiler wizards, which will just suck everything dry, and they don't care.
Yeah, I'd probably be a defiler. I'm not going to lie.
And so it's just a unique system because the defiler wizards have this ability to do something they call an overcharge. So basically, like if you're a 2nd level defiler wizard, you can cast a 5th level spell, but you're going to kill everything around you doing it. And,
okay.
But then once you do that, you're done.
You're done. That's that.
Because there's no other life to draw in to cast anything else.
Now, if I'm looking, so I'm just kind of looking at a summary, pretty much of
Okay. I'm just going from memory. So.
Yeah. Seems like from what I'm reading here, one of the things that were really heavy in this was psionic powers.
Oh yeah.
That was huge.
Yeah. So that's one of the reasons this setting disappeared for a long time is because it introduced this new ability called psionics. Because magic was so hard and so easily destructive to the land, this other element of power came in, and it was called psionics.
Okay.
And everybody that's ever played D&D, that's ever ran a campaign, that has encountered a psionic character, the DM hates them.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're broken, overpowered against anything that's not another psionicist.
You're absolutely right.
They are just completely OP. Like, as a player, about the only monster that poses a challenge to you is a mind flayer.
So like that's crazy because those are super powerful bad guys.
Right, exactly.
So,
but the reason they're so super powerful is because their abilities are basically psionic abilities.
Right.
And so they have the innate talent to combat a psionicist.
So they can go toe to toe.
Right. Yeah. But anybody else, you can pretty much like a first level psionicist spell and just wipe their mind, and
that's that.
They're done. Like they just stand there and like, and then.
I had a party get controlled over a mind flayer once.
You what now?
Took the whole party.
Oh yeah.
Like everybody, they just turned the entire party. We were with a small couple platoons.
Yeah.
And it just no, you're just sorry.
It basically
just took over the party and then turned us around. We started killing our own people.
Oh yeah.
And then slow. And then this DM is just so evil. Like he just made us kill each other. And so it was like the last 30, 40 minutes was us like just sitting there watching DM just be like, ha, 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 ha. Because that's their ultimate goal, I think, is just to murder you.
You know, that's one creature that we've only... So, like I said, I've been playing since I was late middle school, roughly.
Right.
And Mind Flayer is something that I've only come in contact with a few times. Like, very few times.
Yeah, and that's the way it should be. They're very rare.
Yeah.
Like, they don't come to this plane often.
Yeah. And which is pretty awesome. I mean, because the few
Despite
times...
what Stranger Things makes you think. They're not very common.
So, yeah, I mean, I guess... And that too is something that I like about the groups that I've played with.
Right.
They understand that. Like, I have been playing now for 35 years. We've never ran across the Tarrasque, which is like...
thank God.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, at some point, I would kind of like to even if it wipes the entire party, just to go, oh, we finally went up against this creature that's been like this epic thing, you know?
So, but to your point about the DM, their goal, when I am the DM, my goal is never a TPK.
Yeah.
That's never my goal. I never want to do a total party kill. My goal as a DM is to present you with a challenge that is just on the verge of your capabilities.
Exactly.
Like, you've got 2 people down, 2 people up, the boss is weak. It's like you don't know, like, are we going to finish him? Is he going to finish us?
How many points has he got left? I mean, I can only hit him another time or two. If he hits me one more time, I'm done.
Yeah, exactly.
Please don't roll a 1.
That is the ultimate.
Please don't roll a 1.
As me as a dungeon master, that is the ultimate. Like, I want you guys sweating it.
Yep.
I want my players to sweat it. Oh boy.
Yep.
What have we got ourselves into now? And there are a few campaigns that are not campaign encounters in a campaign that are designed to teach the party humility.
In other words, know when to run.
Yes, exactly. There are encounters sometimes that are specifically designed that if your party is stupid enough to stand there and do this, they're all going to die.
So the campaign that I think of whenever humility is something that needs to be taught to a party, Red Hand. The Red Hand of Doom. That is a campaign that is specifically designed to teach a party run, get away.
Every encounter
is just
it's a harassing retreat.
Yep.
I mean that's all you need to be doing. You need to be
hit, run. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, and that's another one that's one I've only played in a time or two, and we never make it past like the first few encounters, first few sessions, because everybody's dead. Yeah, and we're like, okay, this is no fun anymore.
But they're not. It's not fun to play a constant retreat like that as a player.
Right, you're right.
You want to be on the advance.
Yep. Yeah,
and that makes it difficult.
Yeah.
But some of the other cool things about Dark Sun, in my opinion, that I enjoyed. They introduced a couple of new races. One of them was very elf-like. That was an innate psionic race. I can't remember their name. There was another one though called the Thrykeen. That was like this race of insectoid. They look like praying mantis,
right?
Kind of like imagine like a
six-limbed humanoid-sized insect people resembling mantis.
Yeah, yeah. You kind of picture a praying mantis in your hand. They have 4 arms, and you could multi-class into certain things that would let you wield 4 weapons. It wasn't very effective.
Did they have to make a new rule for the dual wielding, quad wielding?
No, because they treated it the same. Like this side was one, but you had 2 weapons. So you would like swing, but you would swing with both hands.
So you said it's been a while since you've played.
Right.
There's one that they introduced in this newer, like whenever they re-released, 2004-ish, called Mull.
Yeah, I don't know that.
Mull. Okay, it says here they are dwarven human hybrids. They're bred by the Sorcerer Kings as a race of slave soldiers. They're larger and stronger than humans. They possess tremendous endurance. That sounds a bit like an interesting thing to play. Be like just a big giant tank.
Yeah, that'd be a perfect fighter, barbarian.
Exactly, that would be cool. Yeah,
yeah. But I really liked the Thrykeen. That was the character. That was the class I played. Like in life, I've always kind of been a social outcast because I'm a nerd. And I mean, I had my nerds. Don't get me wrong.
I was gonna say we all kind of stick together,
but you know, at large, as a nerd, you're kind of segregated from everyone else. You're a nerd or not a nerd, and I was a nerd. But the Thrykeen are very looked down on because of their appearance. Like they're heavily judged against, and so it was easy for me at the time when I was playing this, which was in high school. It was easy to put myself into the mindset of like an outcast.
Yeah,
you know.
And they're pretty wicked looking little dudes.
Yeah, and they have innate psionic resistances in their just in their race stats and everything. But like I said, we didn't get to play the setting much, but it was just a lot of fun, and I really enjoyed. Like I said, I really enjoyed the aspects of being able to experience something different in a different magic system, and also the clerics and the holy people in Dark Sun don't worship gods. They draw their powers directly from the elemental planes.
I was gonna say there's even a class that's like a half elemental class. So that and I can see where that would definitely be something they would like the what do they call it? The Genasi, Genasi.
Yeah, those
elementals.
Those are the ones I was talking about that look kind of like elves, but they're like highly psionic.
Yeah. It says they are half elemental, rare offspring of humans and elementals, living in the wastes on the Isle of the Sea of Silt. They revere nature, hate the Sorcerer Kings and Defilers, and they are heavily psionic. Yeah.
I didn't play them. One of the other people that we ran with played them, but I was a Thrykeen.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I just enjoy.
But then again, you know, whenever I have played, you know, whenever we have played as far as any tabletop, seems like the ones that you bring are the ones that are a little different. Like you're talking about the Dark Sun, that you kind of go to that. We played Eberron.
Yeah, Eberron's. If you don't know Eberron or anybody out there listening to us, it's like a steampunk Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, and it was really, really cool. The setting was awesome, and some of the things like the big golem like things, the mechanics or whatever they were phenomenal. I mean, like they don't heal, they have to repair themselves.
Oh,
which was a really cool thing.
They take half healing from healing spells.
Yeah, and so you had like airships that would fly. You had, and they were like controlled by elementals. I mean, it was just a really, really, really interesting setting.
Yeah,
that was not like anything I had played in before, and it was really awesome.
Those are called Warforged.
Yes, the Warforged.
Yeah.
That was them.
There's the Warforged. They're like living mechanicoids.
Yeah,
like and like they don't have to sleep. So, like, while everybody else was asleep, I would stay up all night on guard duty and repair myself.
So, in other words, while everybody else is trying to sleep, we're all hearing bang, bang, bang,
yeah, well, it was only if I had armor damage. They had another race called Shifters, and they were, like, not lycanthropes, but similar. Mm-hmm. They weren't afflicted with an illness. They had full control of their conscience and everything, but they had the ability to kind of half shift to, like a more feral form. Yeah,
like a feral type form.
Yeah. And then you had changelings.
Now that's what I've played several times because they introduced that into Pathfinder, and that's what we've been playing. So you could play that as a playable race pretty much in Galarian. So
and that would make an overpowered thief real quick.
You talk about an awesome
assassin.
Rogue.
Yeah, rogue assassin character.
They are awesome because they are part of the shadow plane. That's kind of where they come from. So you get all of those types of abilities, and then that where you can change your appearance. And all
they
that
remind me of there's a couple of characters in The Witcher.
Yes,
that are very similar to that, but they don't really have facial features themselves, but they mimic facial features of other. Think like Odo from DS9. That's kind of what I picture. But basically, they get a +10 natural ability to disguise self.
Yep. And
so, like, you can just roll to look like
someone else or whatever. Right. Yeah.
And so they're like the ultimate infiltrator.
Yeah.
You know, like.
And see, whenever I was playing it, I took my first, I think 2 levels, or maybe first level was, I think maybe my first 2 levels were Rogue. My 3rd level was Shadow Dancer. And so that gave me hide in plain sight, which was a phenomenal thing to have because you move effectively 5 foot, and you could, as long as there was shadow within 10 feet of you, you could re-hide by flipping through those shadows. And dude, you could get that sneak attack just about every round, which was awesome because we were up against some bad stuff in that campaign. That's when we were that evil campaign, Way of the Wicked. Fun crazy stuff there.
The Changeling. Have you watched any of the new Picard series?
No, I have not.
2 good things is we've been watching that, and
now this is the Star Trek thing.
This is Star Trek, the new Picard one.
I was going to see. I've seen previews on that.
It's worth a watch.
Yeah. I've got the Peacock or whatever, the Paramount or whichever one it's on.
I think it's on Prime. What we've been watching. But anyway, what I was going to say is the Changelings, Odo's race, is back.
Oh, nice.
And that's cool. And also, and it's been controversial apparently, but I don't know why. I actually got to see and hear the Star Trek Next Generation team crew curse a little bit.
Oh.
And that was just such a good change for me because it was always so politically correct and understanding, and it was always so diverse. Now it's just like when I heard Picard utter the F word, I was like, it was almost like when
he's human.
Yes. Oh, finally.
It was as good as when the ship was crashing and Data went, oh shit.
Yeah, no, it's 10 times better than that. Yeah. Is it like just to hear them utter like simple, just little curse words, and I was just like,
yeah, that was good.
All right, so Obi, we've hit ours. Dragonlance for myself. Mr. Claywell here is Dark Sun. What do you have as far as
what's your favorite
tabletop setting?
It doesn't have to be D&D.
I'm a Jezebel.
You go White Wolf
where it comes into, because I've never been part of it for more than say 4 or 5, let's say sit down sessions. And then it's kind of over. It's always been like short campaignish, and I've went it from Pathfinder. Most of it that I've always played is the D&D. Second edition and stuff like it back in our high school days. And it was always just like one person would be DMing and they would script something out. And it was always an interesting story, but I've never done anything that was
like setting specific.
Yeah.
So most of the time, if it was just kind of a generic, that would be like Greyhawk, because that was kind of like the generic general Dungeons and Dragons world.
Yeah. Yep. All of your like Tasha's Hideous Laughter and Mordenkainen's Fiendish, whatever. That's all
Greyhawk.
And then we would run like a simple die 6 game from time to time, especially with like I've
played a couple of those systems.
I have not.
It's easy. It's more. It's not as.
It's a lot more like White Wolf.
I was going to say,
where it's like success, failure.
Yeah, I was going to say the only time that I've ever played something that was dice specific, set was White Wolf, because I mean it was all D10s.
Right.
So
like you have to roll over a certain number, and then you have to get so many successes.
Right.
And that's D6 systems work very similar to that.
Okay. Now we did. I think we were going to try that. What is the name of that one where it's like in space?
Spelljammer.
Yeah,
that's the D&D one.
Yeah, maybe that's it.
Pathfinder has one that they just came out with. But D&D,
that's Starfinder, and we didn't.
Yeah, Starfinder.
We tried it for like a half second and was like,
D&D just released Spelljammer, and the cover of it has, if you've ever played Neverwinter Nights, the old video game, the cover of it has Minsk,
good name,
the
barbarian, and Boo, the giant space hamster, on the cover of Spelljammer.
That is awesome.
And I just look at the cover, and all I hear in my head is, "Go for the eyes, Boo! Go for the eyes!"
That's another one. Is just it's not always dragons, orcs, and dwarves. You know, you get like I've played like a pre-Empire Star Wars campaign.
We did that for a half second too. But
it kind of petered out a little quick. I've never been in a sci-fi space adventure for more than like 2 sessions.
I was going to say 2 or 3 sessions is about what we lasted on that one. Even the other one that you were talking about, Spelljammer, and I don't think it was Spelljammer that we were playing, because it was more steampunky than it was.
Well, that's it. Spelljammer is the new one that just came out 3-4 months ago.
Okay, so it was not that one. This was an older one that we actually had to convert up.
Are you talking about Shadowrun?
Shadowrun, that's it.
Okay.
We've played Shadowrun, that's one. One of the players, he's got all of the old stuff of that and brought it in, and we played basically we had pre-made characters even. He's like, okay, here's what you've got. Which one of these do you want to play? And he didn't let us see stats. He just had pictures. And we're like, oh, well, I like the way that one looks. And the one that I played ended up, he was like real foppish looking, like had like the hat, and like the old like ruffled collared suits and stuff, and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. Yeah, very bardish looking. And I think I ended up being like a hacker of some kind, like a computer hacker. So basically everybody else was running around with all this tech, and I was able to fix them.
There you go.
It was cool. It was cool.
But my favorite setting would have to be Forgotten Realms. I'm such an RA Salvatore.
So hard to live in.
Yeah. Well, there's always something going on.
But it is a very fleshed out world.
It is so fleshed out. It is so
that's one of the things,
well-rounded.
That's one of the things I appreciate about Forgotten Realms as a world. Like a lot of these other places, like Dragonlance, they talk about Krynn.
Yeah.
Like the planet.
Yes.
But they don't really talk about the places on the planet.
Well,
and Forgotten, I mean a little bit, but not. I mean, you have like Deep Home or whatever, whatever the.
Yeah, there's Solus. There. I mean, if you dive into it, you do get those specific
but
things.
Like if you look at Forgotten Realms, like there's Waterdeep. There's like all these cities that have like
Menzoberranzan.
And all the lore of all the cities and the history. Like it's like a rich. It's like, to me, if you're looking at like Dragonlance or something, you get like, there's a city over there called this.
Yeah.
But if you look at Forgotten Realms, you're like, here's like a 4-tome volume about Waterdeep.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. It's like...
Yeah, I agree there. And I've only read a little bit of theirs. Like I read the Homelands trilogy, I guess.
The Dark Elf trilogy.
I'm just talking about the campaign setting.
But I mean...
We're not going to the novels yet.
Well, I'm just saying though, that in those, it's kind of where you get a lot of that, that depth of building that world.
But even in the campaign setting, like there's a book
specifically on those.
That's just cool. About all the places, all the big cities, and and there's like pages and pages on each location.
That's awesome. That is very awesome.
So I'm strictly referring to the
campaigns themselves, the
campaign and campaign
stuff.
materials.
Yeah. That's cool. So have you played in any of the Forgotten Realms stuff? Didn't you play with us whenever we were playing the War of the Spider Queen part of it?
No, I have played a little bit a long time ago, but yeah.
Oh, Claywell, that was one of the best campaigns that I've ever played in. And it was epic level. So, I mean, we started at 17th level and played up through 20th. And we were fighting things that were phenomenally powerful.
Right.
We were phenomenally powerful. But you're right. As far as like what you get in that setting is just so fleshed out.
Yeah.
Like it's so well done.
Yeah.
And when we talk a little bit, hopefully here in a few minutes, about our favorite, things that have happened, easily one of my favorite things happened in that setting, and we'll talk about it. So.
I think I know what you're talking about there. I've heard about it. I didn't play.
That was so much fun.
But well, let's go to it. What is your favorite thing in a?
No, I want to. Let's just let one of you guys start. I don't want to start here with because I started. You guys go because I want to revel in it for just a moment.
Right on. My favorite thing to have happened in a game session, I think, is just this is just going to sound so egotistical, I guess, but when I'm role playing, I want to role play.
Right.
I don't want to roll dice. I don't want to roll dice. I want to role play.
Yeah, you want to be the character.
And so one of my favorite things that I ever got to do was when we were playing a Dragonlance setting, and I got to play a Kinder.
Oh my god!
And I like to try to lose myself in the character. So every time something came up, I was constantly making secret rolls with the DM to pickpocket my team.
And dude, so we were carrying this music box.
Yeah, it was
this music box that was the key to something.
We didn't know what, but we knew it was powerful.
So like we would put this in our bag, and we're like, all right, we've got this, and we're traveling along. And next thing you know is the flipping Kinder's got it over there playing with it.
Yeah, I like open it up.
Like, how did you get that?
It played such a pretty song. The song was so beautiful. Like you listen to the song, and every time I open it, everybody's like, close it. And I'm like, but no, just listen. Just listen. And we're it's so pretty.
He's dwelling back in character now.
How is he getting this thing? How is he? Right. And literally, he would go over there and he would just roll, and like if he got it, and sometimes he would not get it. Sometimes he would end up with like our cooking utensils or
just one little klepto. He's just like,
but the thing is,
Kinders do not steal.
They do not.
They just borrow, right?
You dropped it. You must have dropped it, and I picked it up for you.
Yeah. He found it. It was
so complete deniability of a race.
He was holding on to it for safekeeping.
Yeah, I mean, I saw it there and it was dangling out of your pocket, and I figured I better take that before you drop it, so I keep it safe for you.
And that's the mindset of a Kinder. They are so offended if you call them thieves.
Kinder do not steal. Kinder are not thieves.
No, not even a little bit.
And I would sit down at the end of every day when we were breaking camp, and I would. That's the Kinder way. I would dump all my stuff out on the ground and go through all my stuff.
Filtered.
No, everything. All of my stuff.
Okay,
like everything I owned, I would just spread it out on the ground and look through all my stuff to see what was in my pack. Because stuff would just pop into my pack. And I don't know how I got there. Look at that. That thing was in my pack. Can you believe that?
That sounds like such a fun character.
Because you do so well with Kinder, and I know that you're going to love to hear this. So Tasselhoff Burfoot is the Kinder, the Kinder. So
every Kinder now has their uncle is Uncle Tasselhoff.
Right.
You get a lot of nephews.
Yes.
Yeah. So Tasselhoff is like the core Kinder from the original Dragonlance Chronicles. He's a little halfling and thief and the most lovable characters that you ever saw in your life. And when they released the campaign setting, there was a specific subset of books that came specifically about him, and one of them was called Tasselhoff's Pouches of Everything. And you could roll randomly on this chart, and it would allow you to pull things from another person's bag. And it could be anything from rings, like magic rings, to mundane items, to like sticks. Or you could literally reach in and grab a player character and pull their head out of the bag and go, oop, I better put that back in. I mean, it was crazy stuff. So, but they have revised that to make it more, I guess, campaign friendly.
Okay.
So December of this past year, you can now buy Tasselhoff's Pouches of Everything revised, so it doesn't break the system whenever you have that item.
Oh,
so
nice.
It's nice to see that put back in the setting,
nice.
so it's not broken.
But those are my favorite moments, is when, like I said, egotistical, self-centered, whatever it is, when I get to lose myself in the and just be the character. And like when I played that specific Kender, I would do stuff knowing as a player, knowing full well that this could kill me or half the party. But that looks really, really fun.
So can I go? Okay, so let me go ahead and tell you one of my favorite things that happened. Like I could rattle off, I don't know how many characters that I loved to play. Mm-hmm. But one of my favorite things to character was in that setting that we were playing, Dragonlance Chronicles. We'd started playing that one, and there's a point where you get captured. It's just part of that, right? And when we're captured, we're sitting inside these like huts, these like little like straw huts, and we're bound, like completely bound. And everybody at the table is sitting here with our wrists together, and we look over, and what does the Kender do? The Kender, he's like, why is everybody like sitting here like this? And the next thing you know is he's scratching his nose because he is no longer bound. And we're like, dude, what? How did you get unbound? He goes, I'm not. I'm still tied up like you guys. And then he'd get out and scratch his back or something. And I'm like, okay. So we're like, dude, can you get out of there? And he's like, yeah, we can get out. I can get out of these. No problem. He just pulls his hands out of them. And we're like, okay, so go get our weapons.
No, they got mad. They were like, why didn't you tell us? I was like, well, you guys were all tied up. I didn't want you to feel bad.
Yeah. So we're like, dude, sneak out of here. Go over there in another one of these little huts is where our weapons were. They had stripped us of everything. So we're like, okay, go get it. So what does he do? We're like, do not, no matter what, do not mess with the magic items because, you can mess things up. So what does he do? The first flipping thing he does, picks up everybody's stuff and he goes, ooh, there's a staff. I wonder how this works. And starts shaking it.
Because, rogues have the ability to use magic item.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep.
So I was like, what does this do? Magic item.
20. He rolls a nat 20.
Oh God, what did he get?
So what he got was Ice Wall, which created this 40-foot tall wall of ice that now this hut is sitting on top of with a Kender inside it that goes from one side of this encampment to the other. No longer are we being quiet about anything that we're doing because of the stinking Kender. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. It's things like that, though.
But it was fun, though.
Totally sets everything in motion. And then we're like, oh, no.
It's like, what's going on? Oh, the unpredictability.
Yeah. All right. So, and then I will go ahead and I will tell my favorite one. Okay.
Sure.
So, that epic level campaign that we were playing, the Underdark, we have to get inside the city. We are a group of male drow elf, dark elves, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay, hold on real quick.
Okay, so
for the people that aren't familiar with, in the drow society, the dark elf society, it is a matriarchal society.
Right, that's what
women have all the power. Men are basically like Muslim women. They're supposed to be kept at home and unseen.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So they're all males.
Except for one character that we all know who that is, and we'll talk about him in a few.
Burt Reynolds?
Anyway, yeah, that's the one. He's got the mustache. So, so we have a female cleric that's with us. So effectively, this female needs to talk to the guards to get us in the city of Menzoberranzan. And we're like, okay, they're not going to let us in because we are traveling with Jagrid, which is this big beast, four-armed, I don't even remember what, Dragloth. Dragloth. So he's like huge. He's this massive, massive thing. He's got 4 arms and he's just this, looks like almost like a werewolf. And we're like, there's no way they're going to allow him to come into this city. So our magic user, I'm going to give the shout out to my good buddy that lives here close to me, John. He can weave magic spells together to be these most beautiful things that you've ever seen. So
this is the creature they're traveling with.
Yeah. So
and it's sentient. That's not a monster.
Yeah, that's one of the players.
That's one of the players. That's one of he is.
He's basically their meat shield.
Yeah, he's our fighter effectively, or big. He's kind of like the barbarian of the group.
I would feel safe with him on my side. However, I don't think I'd want to sleep in the same camp.
But he was tame. So when we get to the guards, though, or before we get to the guards, our wizard, God love him, he goes, okay, we need to disguise you so that you can get in with the rest of us. So we need to make you look like a drow too. Now, mind you, the guy that's playing this character has been burned many times, both figuratively and literally, by fireball and every other spell that he can cast close to this character, because he always plays the fighter of the group. So he's like, no, I'm not letting you cast a spell on me. And he's like, oh, come on. He's like, you've got to get, otherwise you can't come in. They're not going to let you in the city. He's like, what are you going to turn me into? And he's like, well, I'm going to use polymorph on you so that way it'll make you look like us. And he's like, oh, do I have to? And John's like, dude, it's either that or you sit outside for the next week or two while we're doing our business in here. So he's like, all right, I guess go ahead and hit me with the spell. And here's John's reaction. So you accept the spell?
See that right there.
That should tell you something. So you accept the spell? And God love Wheeze, he goes, yeah, I accept the spell. John goes, polymorph, you're a fur coat.
Oh.
So what does he do? He hits the ground as a fur coat. And one of the drow walks up and picks him up and puts him on to walk into this city. Now, mind you, the guards of this city have true sight, so they can see through the disguise of polymorph. So what they see when we come walking up, is this drow that has this giant dragloff draped across their back with its arms all hanging down. And one of our players literally sat and drew this while we were playing. So we got to not only see this, in our minds, but we got to see it on paper as well. I kid you not, I almost peed myself. I was laughing so hard. It was hilarious. And to this very day, if we walk over there right now and we go, all right, Wheeze, do you accept this spell? He goes, hell no. No way.
Never again.
He's like, I don't care what it is. I will roll a will save to get away from it. I don't care what it is. You want to heal me? Will save.
I'll set out for a week. I'm good.
Oh, it was so funny. So funny.
Fur coat.
Oh, Jagrid the fur coat.
I once got trapped outside because I chose to be a drow and we were above.
Oh, yeah.
And that's just like, man, Forgotten Realms can be so racist.
Oh, Forgotten Realms is brutal.
It was like, well, you can't come in here. And I'm like,
yeah.
So I literally just spent like half the night just outside of the city.
Just wandering around.
What are you doing?
Looking at the pretty mushrooms that glow and all that kind of stuff.
So we did another campaign, and it's what you're talking about later, where it's all dwarves.
Oh, yeah.
We played that before, and I played it. So I like I said, my default is a dwarven fighter.
Mm-hmm.
I played a dwarf. There was another dwarf in the party that was a wizard.
I remember this one.
Yeah. And so dwarves hate spellcasters.
Not big fans, yeah.
Just like as a general rule.
They don't trust them. They're sneaky.
So, again, I like to role play. So the whole time we're playing, I'm giving this other character grief. I'm like, stay away from me. You're weird.
Yeah.
I don't like you. Like, I don't trust you.
Like, to the point that the player themselves got offended. Like, at
like,
certain points, they're like, "Really? Are you really mad at me?"
Yeah, but so like they stopped, like, and everybody in the group was like, "Dude, like, you gotta lighten up." And I'm like, "Dude, no, you as a person, I love you. You're fine.
But your
My character
sucks.
does not like your character.
My character hates your character." But that's how into it I get sometimes.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, but I had it all in my head, right? Mm-hmm. Like, we're gonna adventure together for a while.
Yeah.
Eventually, he's gonna sling some kind of spell that's gonna get my butt out of trouble, and then I'm gonna give a little bit.
Yeah.
And I'm be like, well, maybe he's not so bad. And then, like,
But you got to get that build up.
right.
Yeah, okay, so you were totally pulling a Legolas and a Gimli.
Basically,
Yeah.
Like,
We're going to be best of friends by the end of this campaign.
In my
What's your count
mind,
at, honey?
he was
That's not where we start.
right, because I don't trust a spellcaster. Just racially, I don't trust a spellcaster, and he's going to have to work to earn my trust and respect.
Yep.
And he's going to have to prove himself on the field of battle, as a dwarf should.
And it works perfectly when you do stuff like that. It really does.
Yeah, but yeah, we never play. Again, it's one of those things where we never played it that far, and it never got to that point.
Yeah,
but that was I was going for that.
Good times.
Dude, there's been so many little things and just fun stuff that's happened in campaigns that, like, whenever I think back on it, like, the highlight reel would be, I mean, I don't know. I guess because we were there and in the moment, it was awesome. But I don't know. I love it. It's why I've continued to play to this very day. I'm 45-year-old role playing, and
Right.
so, do you have one specific that something that happened in a specific campaign or a game that would just kind of stands out as that one thing that you're like, oh, this is why I do this?
Yeah, there's been, I don't know, I'm the same. There's been so many cool, unique little things. That's hard to pick, isn't it?
It really is, because there's a lot of them.
Yeah.
Like, one of the first things I can remember was psionics when they were first introduced back in 2nd edition.
Right.
I can remember one of the players, we were like 2nd level, and he took out the main bad guy. Like, we got to meet him. He was supposed to come in, kind of threaten us, and then take off.
Yeah.
He turned around, and the player was like, so he turned his back, and we're like, and the DM's like, yeah. He turns around to walk away. He's like, all right, I attack, and he got a blind attack on the dude, and it was a psionic blast that just like totally killed him. And we're like, we quit after that. The guy was like, I can't play with a character like this.
Yeah.
Right. And
Because
that's what I was saying.
It
Yeah.
made the DM mad. Yeah. So yeah, I was like, yeah, those. And there's some things that are still kind of broken like that. Like right now, the big thing with Pathfinder was gunslingers, because they are like very, very powerful.
So to me, that's where rule number 1 comes in,
which is
DM's discretion.
DM's discretion, house rules or whatever. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Those kind of things are very, very, very important, especially whenever you have something
like the new D&D movie coming out with what's his name?
Yes, that's actually I've got
Chris,
it pulled up right here. Chris Pine. Yeah.
All these people are fussing because in the trailer you see the druid cast wild shape and she shifts into some thing.
An owlbear.
An owlbear.
Yeah.
And you can't do that. Oh, the rules lawyers are all up in arms. Oh, you can't do that. You can't wild shape into an owlbear. Blah, 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 blah. And it's like...
But DM's discretion says...
Well, DM's discretion says you could. Or she could be doing something else. There's another ability that they have that's not wild shape that would let her transform into an owlbear. Yeah. So it's like... But again, it's rule number 1. Like, read any source book from any role-playing system, and they're going to say, make the game your own.
Yep.
Make the rules to make it fun for you.
And because more rules and all that, you kind of ruin the fantasy on it. So
you're right,
and that's what this whole thing's about. Is that
so? Since we've kind of breached that subject, let's talk a little bit about what happened over the last couple of months with like Wizards of the Coast and all that.
Oh yeah.
So they really, really, really kicked a hornet's nest is pretty much what it is. And it's a good thing that they ran back and kind of hunkered down, because the community as a whole was up in arms.
With every right.
And they were right. Yeah, I mean, absolutely. They were the community was was right where they needed to be as far as this goes.
Yeah.
So the original thought on Dungeons and Dragons or any kind of role playing system is that rule number one: make it your own. And the creators of the rules have relied so much on the creativity of the players and the DMs for effectively building these worlds and these realms that we play in. And they have they have given what they called an open license. Basically,
the open game license,
the OGL. Yeah, the OGL is the open game license. And it basically says, here are the rules that we are putting forth for this. Now use them to make this world your own. So I want to say it was right around Christmas or just before, somewhere right around first of the year.
Around November, December, somewhere in there.
They decided that they were going to revoke the OGL. The open game license, they were basically going to say, okay, we're rewriting this so that anything that you create using our system, we're going to make money off of it. Yeah, especially if we own it because you're using our rules to make it.
Right.
And this really got a lot of people stirred up really quick, because then they were basically saying, okay, so if I go online and I create this game, are you going to now start taking money from the players and the fact that I have created this world?
Well, that's what they were changing it to.
Yeah, that's what they were making. That's what they were going to do.
So like all these places like Critical Role, like I don't know if you've heard of that, but it's like a big Twitch channel.
We'll talk about them in a minute too, because I got them pulled up too.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying like that. So there's like me, right? Like if I wanted to play D&D and stream it, and I came up with my own campaign. Well, since I'm playing it on Twitch and people can give me money on Twitch and subscribers and stuff,
and he's using Dungeons and Dragons, and I'm using Pathfinder or whatever's rules that would.
Well, so Pathfinder wasn't
affected, royalty, or they could just claim it.
Basically, they were
saying they could claim it and copyright strike my channel for making money off their product.
See, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And
I mean, it's just like even playing a guitar. I'm like, oh, well, any music you play off a Fender, we own.
That's exactly what it would be like. It would be like Fender coming out and saying, oh, you're playing our guitar, we own your songs.
Yeah.
I mean, it's...
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. Now, the good thing is, like I say, the entire community was up in arms, and they started. There was massive boycotts of different things, and people were starting to pull out subscription services, and it was a big deal.
And it was right at the same time they bought D&D Beyond too.
Yeah,
because D&D Beyond did not used to belong to Wizards. It used to be like a separate company.
Right. So they got all of this, and it basically ended up under one umbrella, and then the bottom fell out because of what they were going to do. So the community, I guess the voice was loud enough that they heard, and now they have kind of backpedaled and said, okay, the open game license is going to remain in effect, so that way you can continue to use our things. Basically having to stop what they were wanting to do with the open game license, and
thankfully,
which is a good thing. Yeah, it's a really good thing, because I mean it would have really put a big dent in tabletop gaming, and I think that it would have. I don't want to say this, and I don't want to speculate too much, but I mean Dungeons and Dragons has had its it's been a roller coaster. Okay, so yeah, in the so the community pushback on that was like a really big thing, and I'm glad that they did what they did, because it's. We're now to a point with D&D where we can create campaigns again without necessarily having to worry about, Big Brother coming in and swooping in and saying, "Hey, we own this." So that's a good thing. That's a very good thing. And Pathfinder they basically were saying if Dungeons and Dragons falls on its face, because it has had its ups and its downs.
Right.
If it falls on its face, basically we're here to pick up the rest of the community, and they were fully embracing all of those people that were going to getting ready to drop Wizards of the Coast and come running to
I'm sure
Piezo. So yeah, it was some good stuff. So
yeah, and that would have been a huge faux pas if Wizards had continued with that anything you create we own mentality.
Yeah, that would have been some bad.
That would have
been
the end of Dungeons and Dragons.
I could see how that would.
I didn't want to necessarily speculate that it would be the end, but it would have definitely been detrimental.
I mean, but it wouldn't have stayed profitable enough for Wizards to maintain
no, they would have sold it off to someone, and probably whoever they sold it off to, they would have lost money on, and then they'd have been like, okay, so I guess we know what the community wants, hopefully, and they would have hopefully opened it back up.
I think the only chance they would have had is if Piezo had bought them.
Yeah, and if that would have happened, that would have been phenomenal.
Yeah,
because I love my Pathfinder stuff. So, like even this Dragonlance campaign setting that we're getting ready to start in, we're going to use the Pathfinder rules because because we all know it, and it's
I do like some of the 5th edition changes. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, and I will say this: I think moving forward, because like I've said a couple times already, I prefer more of a role play than a roll dice kind of encounter system and campaign. And I think going forward, I've decided no matter how it's set up in the books, I'm going to move towards a milestone leveling system.
Yes.
And not a experience-based leveling system.
Yeah.
Because I think experience-based kind of promotes combat over anything else.
Yeah, I mean, that's where you get your experience effectively, unless you've got a good DM that can basically award XP for that role play.
Right.
But and a lot of times they don't necessarily do that because it's not as clear cut.
Right. And because of like the way the encounters work and everything, you tend to get these people that, I mean, you'll grind out XP and level up way too fast.
Right.
And so if you go to a milestone base, like you let them go through the encounters, but they don't level until you're ready for them to level.
Right. And see, we've done that whenever we were playing Way of the Wicked. That's the way it worked. It was not, we weren't leveling based on XP. We were leveling based on points. And so like you go into the fortress or whatever, and if you took out the catapults and you took out this and you took and depending on how many of those, you got a certain number of points, and once you hit those points, that's when you would level. So it was kind of a hybrid between the two.
Yeah. Now see, for me, I think what I'm going for from now on is like, you know, when you lay out your campaigns, you kind of block it into your major encounters.
Right.
Right. I mean, that's kind of, I don't know if you've ever DM'd, but that's kind of the way I've always done it. And everybody I've talked to, that's typically how they do it. They kind of lay out the big encounters.
And then work your way to them.
And kind of work your way from one to the next. And like, the way I'm going to do it going forward is like, after, when they hit this encounter, after that, they're going to level. Yeah. Like when they navigate that encounter, everybody levels.
Yeah.
No matter what they've had to do beforehand, like you don't level until you get to this point.
Right.
Because that takes the onus, the pressure off of, we got to go find something random other stuff to fight to get the level.
Yeah.
Before we go to this big encounter. Like it doesn't matter what you do. Like you're not going to level until after you get over that big encounter.
I think I would be more comfortable playing under that. Seems like it'd be less stressful and just straight to the story. And like you said, just get a role play.
That would be a lot easier as a DM as well, as a game master, because effectively you know where your characters are at all times.
Right.
There is no longer keeping up with. You still set up encounters based on where they're at.
Right.
But you wouldn't necessarily have to worry so much with, well, how much XP is this specific thing going to give them?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. So I think that's what I'm going to go for. Like, we're trying to get, I've been trying to get a little campaign going with my family. My daughter, oldest daughter, loves Stranger Things. And she's like, what's the Dungeons and Dragons? You've got those books, right? And so she made a character. I've got a campaign ready to go. We just got to get a few more players.
That's cool.
To get in. I don't think I could run it with, I think I need at least 3 players.
Right.
I just don't think I could do it with 2.
I was going to say, we played, our typical party, I think, is 5.
Right.
And
I think I could run with 3, but I don't think I could go any lower than that.
Yeah, it would be tough. Yeah. You'd have to have some non-player characters or something.
And I've already rolled up a cleric with a backstory.
Yep.
Just because nobody ever wants to play the healer, right? So
we're lucky at our group that's the one player that's all they play,
right? Yeah,
and that's rare. I mean, extremely rare.
Yeah, it's good to have. But I've already got a backstory. He got in a bad fight and took a bad punch and bit off his tongue.
Oh.
So he can't speak. So I don't have to worry about
the
dialogue interactions or whatever. Like I can just be like,
yeah.
and like so they can't come to me and be like, how do we get out of here?
Yeah.
As an NPC, I used to be like, and then
exactly. That's cool.
I've already thought it. I've already thought it. You know what I'm saying? Like, how do I keep my NPC character from impacting their decisions?
Yeah.
Well, you can't understand anything he says.
So okay,
you know what I mean?
Have you ever had NPC characters are always something that's hard to do, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So my favorite NPC that I ever made was a librarian. I created a librarian that was in the specific city that they had to go to, and when they were talking with this librarian, they were after this specific book, that they had to look for, all this kind of stuff.
Right.
They find it, and they're like, "All right, so can we check this book out?" And the librarian's like, "No." The books of this library stay in this library. And they're like, so we can't take anything out. And the librarian's like, no, you cannot. And they're like, okay, so why? And eventually they come to find out that this librarian is a silver dragon. And its hoard is the books. So it hoards knowledge instead of gold.
I liked that. That's a different take on that.
I was going to say, I was like, I like this. I like the idea of this. So I ran with it.
Yeah, that's really cool. I've never come up with something that cool. My favorite one that I've done is I think we were playing an Eberron campaign, and the party had to charter a ship, like an ocean going ship from one place to another. Because they have airships in the game, but this was, no, it was an airship, I think. Anyway, it's irrelevant. It was an airship. Yeah, it was an airship because the captain was gnome.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you've ever read anything about the gnomes, but they always speak like run on, like they don't put gas between the words. All the gnomes always just talk really fast.
Now that I do know. But
and all the gnomes. So I did my best terrible Brad Pitt impression from Snatch.
Yes.
Okay.
We none of us could ever understand what was said. And we're like, okay, what?
It's like, you gotta try that boat, eh? And they're like, huh? You need a ride?
Yeah.
What?
Okay, so let's wrap this thing up.
Yeah.
I want to wrap it kind of with what brought us to the nerd table, I guess, that's happening out in the world right now. This coming week, the new Dungeons and Dragons movie drops. So it's Honor Among Thieves. That comes out Thursday night, midnight-ish, Friday.
Right.
And I think we're already, like, our group has already got we're all going to go see it on Friday. So
nice.
It looks like it's going to be funny, and just from the things that I've seen, we get to see a lot of the D&D characters, the creatures and things like that we play against. And like I say, tabletop gaming, I love it. We have got the minis, we've got the books and all that kind of stuff, but seeing something fleshed out, even if it's CGI, is pretty awesome to me. So I'm really, if nothing else, visually, I'm looking forward to this movie. Even if the story is total crap, I'm looking forward to getting to see these creatures that we've been fighting all of these years.
That's like the original Dungeon Dragon when it came out years and years ago. I mean, it was so goofy. It was great, But I mean, you got to see a lot of different. And my favorite scene in that whole thing is when they're in the tavern. Yeah. And everybody's just hanging around. I'm just like, that was the variety, the diversity of craziness.
I think my favorite thing that I've seen so far. There's two things. They're in an arena and they have to fight, so you get to see like the one there's a gelatinous cube. There's a mimic that's in it, and then there's the what are the cats with the two tails? That's like a displacer beast. I think is what they're. Man. Maybe. Yeah. I get to see those. I got to see those three just in the preview. So if I'm seeing those three in a preview, I'm thinking, man, there's got to be a lot more. And then there's, of course, you get to see dragons and
an owlbear.
An owlbear that looked phenomenal. It's looking like it's going to be good.
I think it could be good, but unfortunately, Dungeons and Dragons does not have a good track record with films.
No, they don't. But I'm hoping that the people
I keep flashing back to the one. What was it, like Marlon Wayans?
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
That's the one that was not great.
That's kind of the first one, though, wasn't it?
It was one of the first ones. Yeah.
The rest of them, they just don't put a lot into them, I don't think.
Yeah, that's the thing is I think there's just too much for them. I think that's the problem. Well, they try to bite off more than what they should. And in a campaign, to keep it within the guideline, within the rails, right? In between the lines.
And I just don't think the technology was there with the CG before.
I can see that as well.
I think they were just overly ambitious with the visuals, and they couldn't get where they wanted to go. And
there's so much story that happens that's random, that it's those little things that make the magic, that happen in those groups.
Mm-hmm. Like, did you see that god awful animated Dragonlance movie that they made?
The only thing that I liked about it was Kiefer Sutherland voicing Raceland.
Yeah.
Aside from that, the rest of it was garbage.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. What do you think?
I really, really want to play D&D.
Okay.
Like, I haven't scratched that itch.
It's been a long while, huh?
9 years.
So let's play. Okay.
I would love to. Yeah.
Okay.
I would love to. Like I said, I've got a campaign ready to go. Like I've already laid out the intro. I've got NPCs if we need to fill in.
We're good. So I think we're good. You just let us know when to be there and we'll play. I got dice for everybody that needs dice. I've got.
I want those lethal ones you got in there.
the metal ones?
Yeah.
Those are
cracking
neat.
dice?
Yeah. Gee whiz.
I have to go home. I've got a little wooden chest. One of those,
is that what you got your dice in?
That's what mine stay in. Yeah.
Yep. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Heck yeah. So everybody out there, don't forget, drop us a line. What's your favorite role-playing system, campaign setting? Are you a White Wolf fan? Do you like D&D? Do you like the 20? Do you like the D6 stuff?
I was going to say we didn't even really touch base on any of like the riffs or GURPS or White Wolf or
let us know.
All those kind of things.
You drop us a line on facebook.com/groups/2mindspodcast.
Yep, and you can hear this episode as well as all of our past episodes from our host site, twominds.podbean.com, or you can search us up on Spotify, Apple Tune, any of those podcast catchers that you guys use out there. Just look either Jason Claywell or Jeremy Ham in parentheses, or not in parentheses, in quotations, or Two Minds Podcast, and you should be able to find us that way.
Right. Tell them where they can send us an email, Obi.
Email. There's the twomindspodcast@gmail.com. That's an easy one to get to real quick.
That's right. You can hit us up on the Twitter if it still has there, at Two Minds Podcast. That's two spelled out, TWO. On all of these, it's always two spelled out, TWO. Two Minds Podcast.
Yep, and then we've got this new one that we've been using here recently, Mastodon. And if you want to hit us up on that one, it is mstdn.party, PARTY, / Two Minds Podcast. You can find us there.
Yeah. And you can find this in all of our episodes. I think you may have already said this, but all of our past episodes, or like us, subscribe to us, give us comments and feedback there on our hosting site, twomindspodbean.com.
That's where I started.
Is that
listening? Yeah, whenever we were
Podbean.
Yep, that's when I started. Now I kind of move over to Spotify, and Facebook always dings up. So once I'm kind of set, I get just notifications as soon as it launches.
We put it up, and then we put links to it, and then we share it on Facebook as well. So.
And then it just ding across the board.
We try to make it available anywhere that you would like to listen to.
Yep. And for anybody that's out there that wants to totally nerd it up, this episode is